Hello there, EDF friends. On this video, I just wanted to briefly talk about something really cool that I found out called the Strikepack FPS Dominator mod pack. Just up front of the video, I did not get this for free. I'm not getting paid to say this. This is just something cool that I found that I'm glad that I found. And I'd like to share with you guys just in case you didn't know about it. This thing is very cool. As you can see, it's only $40. So what this is like, for example, for me, I've always wanted a pro controller, but they've always been too expensive for me because I've always wanted paddles underneath my controller handles just to make it easier so you can always keep your two thumbs on the analog. But I just never wanted to pay $150 for a pro controller. And usually the third-party controllers I've seen on Amazon, stuff like that, usually they're pretty junk. Usually the analog sticks are pretty bad, and I hate to go with a third-party controller because, you don't know if it's going to work for very long. I did actually find out, so I read some reviews on this thing before, and it seemed mostly positive. The only thing I read about was possibility of disconnects, so that was a concern for me, but I personally have not had any disconnect issues with mine, so that's good. That's good to find out. But pretty much what this does is it gives you two paddles, so this is it right here. It gives you two paddles to put underneath your handle controllers. So it's a very small unit, and these are the paddles here on the side. And pretty much these paddles can come off, and they're just held by a magnet, and they just go in. They just press like a little button right in here inside this square. So it sounds to me like you can buy different size paddles, but the ones that came with it are fine for me. But it's very easy to connect. This is a standard stock PlayStation 4 controller. So you just plug it into the top port here, and then this thing comes over the front, and it snaps inside the speaker button. And you would think that sounds kind of cheap, but actually I've had no issues of it, disconnecting or anything like that. It feels very stable and strong in there. And then it just gives you two paddles underneath your controller. And even though I have large hands, I've always had issue with that. They feel very comfortable for me. They're in my middle finger area right here, and they feel very good. It also gives you a 3.5 millimeter jack for a headset. That's very important, of course. And also you can use a USB headset if you want to as well, but the thing is you have to connect the controller and the mod pack first to the PS4, then you have to connect your headset controller afterwards, because this thing, I guess, is considered a headset for some reason when you plug it in. I'm not sure why, but that's how it works. But so one thing very important, though, is you can't be wireless with this thing. You have to have a thing plugged in all the time, and it does come with the wire, and it's a pretty good quality long wire, so that's pretty cool. So what this thing does is, well, for example, if you want to map these buttons right here underneath, it's very simple. All you do is just hold. There's a button for each of the paddles. You just hold down the paddle button you want to program the paddle to, and then so you hold down this button, and then you press and hold down the button you want it to be, whether it be X or whatever, trigger, bump, or whatever, and then let go of them both at the same time, and then the paddle is now programmed. So it's easy to change. You can always change it on the fly if you want to. You can also program two buttons to a paddle as well if you wanted to, more than one button. So that's kind of cool. I've never used that, but that's an interesting thing if you wanted to. As far as other features, it does have other features too on top of this. It has options like rapid fire. I have used rapid fire on EDF 5. You can remap the entire controller with this thing as well. There's also mods for specific games built into it. I think you might have to go online to like plug this into the computer and then like download some mods for different games, but I haven't messed with that because I'm not interested in that. But you can do stuff like drop shot in Call of Duty, anti-recoil, auto run, stuff like that. So there's some options for that. I think Battlefield's on there too, but I think there's different games you can download for. But like I said, I haven't messed with that, so I don't know how well that works. I have used the rapid fire, though. It's built in, and you can actually adjust the speed of the rapid fire if you want to as well, which is kind of cool. Because there's a weapon, a machine gun in EDF5 it's called the GNM, and it fires up to 12 a second, but you have to pull the trigger, and good luck pulling the trigger 12 times a second. But with the auto fire, of course, it'll shoot maximum speed for you if you want to do it with that too. I've used this thing about a month or so. I've had no disconnects. Decent quality of the paddles from my experience. As well as the 3.5 headset jack works really well. I haven't had any issues with that. Seems same quality, same clarity when I'm doing party chat and stuff like that. And the really cool thing is it's at local GameStops too. Like, I didn't even know that. I didn't have to order it on Amazon or anything. I could just go to GameStop and pick it up. So once again, another positive. So that's the reason I picked it up to buy it, to try it out. And like I said, I'm very happy with it. I really like for EDF to have the ability to change weapons and zoom down here. So I never have to worry about either doing this or clawing the controller, because I used to claw the controller all the time, and I always felt inaccurate when I'm aiming and then trying to use middle fingers to pull the trigger. So now I just do it like this, and it's very cool. So anyway, I just wanted to briefly share that with you because, like I said, I didn't know about this thing, and I wish I would have knew about it sooner because, man, I have like a lot of thousands of hours to relearn myself from playing like this to playing like this now. So, but anyway, I'm very happy I found it, and very cool thing. So if you're interested, I would definitely highly recommend giving it a try. The worst you can do is if it doesn't work, you can always take it back to GameStop locally. So it's pretty cool. So that's all I wanted to do. Just wanted to share it with you. So once again, thanks a lot for watching. And remember, EDF doesn't leave a man behind, ever. And if you'd like to help support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing. Thanks a lot.